All right, good morning, everybody. What is happening? It's Michael Rutherford. I've got 9 straight up. I'm calling in from my house in San Diego, and definitely going to be a really cool call today. I just have a quick question for you, and I want to hear an audible answer. I'm going to unmute the call after I ask the question so we can all hear your answer, because I want the person who's going to share right now to know that y'all actually want to know what he's going to talk about. So the question I just texted out was, how would you like to have a business that does $300,000 in sales of Keto OS in January? Wouldn't that be pretty cool? So, yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool too. So I'm going to unmute the call. Just tell me what that would mean to you. Tell him what it would mean to you. I'm going to unmute. And Jared, just listen to what they say, and we'll start the call. $300,000 in sales the next month.
I'm sorry.
Get out of today. God bless you.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Stone cold keto chaos, basically.
Wow.
So here's one thing that's really funny. Here's how powerful social media is, specifically social media. I didn't know a guy named Matty V. Him and I knew each other on social media through Facebook. Never met him. He's a photographer, videographer, an events guy, a graphic designer, a web guy. He's an online dude. He's a computer guy. Never met him in my life. I just knew he posted stuff all the time about designing stuff. I reached out to him, hey, dude, putting together a new project. My partner Brian and I are looking to create some graphics and some logos and a preliminary pitch deck around this idea of getting ketones in a drink. He goes, what are ketones? So we start going back and forth. He starts mocking up some graphics. A month later, we're not coming together quite well. And I go, well, you haven't even had the product, dude. I got to bring you a sample. I take him a sample. We drink it. He freaks out. His brain lights up. We got 3 computer screens going, and we started knocking out some logos and some designs, and just cool creativity came out on the screen. It's like, dude, what's in this stuff? I'm like, pure therapeutic ketones, baby. He puts a post up on social media. It's got a picture of him and I drinking Keto OS, holding a couple of pea strips. And then the next thing you know, I'm on the phone with Jared Miadenberg, and that's who's going to share with you right now. We're going to spend a little bit of time and talk about, like, that's how I can relate to what Jared's going to talk about, because that's how I met him. I know him from a guy that I know on social media. And that's how I met Jared, was him and Maddie knew each other from social media, had never met in person. So, Jared, I know you got tons of cool stories, lots of things to share, do's, don'ts on social media, but rip for a little bit, just kind of share how big of a role that can play, even in how you got started on Keto OS.
Yeah, Mike, I appreciate you inviting me on, and good morning, everyone. Wow, no pressure. Holy moly, that was a lot of energy.
Yeah, baby.
I love it. Thanks for giving us that this morning, guys. But, you know, it's, wow, what a journey, guys. And I think the whole point, Michael, of what we do, and, guys, I think Rutherford's probably the best model of that in our company as our fearless leader, is get social, have fun. Like, just be who you are and have a blast with this. Because, guys, we've got the coolest product ever to hit the marketplace. There's a ton of substance and science behind it, but you don't have to geek out and get weird. You just got to have fun. And we've got a product that's the ultimate feel good, taste good. As a matter of fact, this is a little bit off topic, but related, I guess. They're both on the call right now. Our Lucy down in South Texas with my buddy David, we just did our first virtual keto cocktail mixer by phone. Literally had her open up the sample, dump it into water, shake it up, and drink it, and we're talking her through it the whole time. And first words out of her mouth was, oh, my goodness, this tastes great. And, Lucy, probably by the end of this call, I know you're on, you're probably going to be feeling great as well. So how cool is that? Like, we could just have fun getting this product into people's hands, into their mouths, and letting them experience our product. So, you know, Michael, you know, we're going to be launching a game plan here to the community very soon, and G in game plan is get social. And that in all aspects, but obviously we're talking now about social media, Facebook probably being the number one tool that people are using. And that is crazy, right? Like, I did not know Matty B. We were one of, I quote-unquote Facebook friends. I don't even remember how or when we friended on Facebook, but when I heard about Keto OS and felt like, you guys heard my story the other day, I might have been punked. I felt like if somebody had created this company that knew a lot about me and my interests. So I had to go make sure this thing was for real. And scrolling through Facebook and doing a little search, I just landed on Matty V's Facebook on the right day, and it had a post about Keto OS. I reached out to him and connected with Michael. The rest is history. So we've got to be out there and be visible, guys. And I see people doing a really good job of it. And quite frankly, and I'm not going to call any names, but I see people, and guys, there's no judgment here. There's no right or wrong. I just think there's better. We all love that word better. There's a better way for many people to just have fun, get social, and be attractive to the people that follow you on Facebook. Like, I don't remember Matty B's post specifically, but I believe it had a picture, like you said, Michael, of you and him. Looked like you guys were having fun. And it wasn't join my business, get in, get rich. It wasn't plastered in all caps, and it wasn't a book. It was like a fun little post that just piqued my curiosity. I was looking. I just kind of wanted to get connected to where, the source was. And Matty B was a conduit. And as a result, we've got, 5,500 plus people now using and enjoying our product. So if he hadn't gotten social and been cool about it and connecting me with you, that would have never happened. I don't know where I'd be today. So
I want to say something too.
Yeah.
Here's what's crazy, Jared. So as you're saying that, I instantly started thinking of all the people you took this to, because a lot of times I keep going back to this conversation with Brian McShay. I was going to try to have him speak today, but he's in a meeting at church and couldn't. But I'm always talking to him. I was like, hey man, you can't judge who you have, judge who they have, or judge who they have, or judge who they don't have yet, because they're coming. People are watching you, and you don't even know it, or some of you do know it, but there's way more people watching you that you're unaware of, and it's not necessarily them, it's who they know, because Matty V, for me, was a huge linchpin into this entire biohacking crowd, which Jared's a part of. I mean, then the paleo effects and all these cryotherapy, like wild animal, like medical people, like, what? That's crazy. You dip yourself into, like, freezing air? Like, what? So there's this big cool audience of people that your friends know, but you got to get through that first line of people. It's kind of like the Verizon commercial, Jared, because as soon as we spoke on the phone, I'm like, oh, this company's tailor-made for you. What do you like? Network marketing? What else? Biohacking? Ketones? Butter in your coffee? Oh, what if we networked market that? Like, that's what Jared was thinking years ago. If something MLM bulletproof coffee, I'd get rich. If somebody MLM paleo eating, I'd get rich. Like, and then Matty puts a picture up without even thinking. He's not a network marketer. Matty didn't put it up to recruit people. Matty put it up generally because and I don't even know if he's listening. I'll have to send the recording if he's not. He put it up generally saying first dose of pure therapeutic ketones tastes like a creamsicle. And a picture of me and him looking cool and fun and happy. That's intriguing. Doesn't say anything. Someone's like, what's a pure therapeutic ketone? Hey, man, give me some. So, like, real natural. And then, Jared, as a result, let's just have fun, a little segue for just a moment. So you're over a few 100,000 in volume this month. What does that mean? That means you have a team that's attracting leaders from other companies that have done other things, that have some of them years, some of them decades of network marketing experience. I mean, people that have sold $10, $20, $30 million in product in their companies. You have people that have played professional sports of all kinds. You have IFBB pro bodybuilders. You have a whole host of doctors, chiropractors, medical people. I mean, just people that have been in health, wellness, and fitness their whole life. And you have a ton of just people getting benefits of our product. So, and all the people that I just referenced didn't get enrolled by you. They got enrolled by somebody that you enrolled. Maybe 6, 7, 8 relationships down the line. You got an entire team of airline pilots and flight attendants and people all over the country. That came from a thinking social media post. One of them that was intriguing enough for Jared to be interested, but not overwhelming enough to turn him off. So I'll shut up. Keep going.
Right. No, that's great, man. I'm actually glad you mentioned that because that tees up a great story. And guys, this story literally should give you shivers or make the hair stand up in the back of your neck, because it does mine every time I tell it. And he just reminded me of the story. So Mitch and Michael, thank you. So here's a cool story. About 7 years ago, on Facebook, I saw a really interesting dude. He lived in L.A., and he had this video that literally brought me to tears. It was about kids expressing gratitude to the world because we feel like we're in this connected world, funnily enough, talking about social media, yet we can be so disconnected, right? Which could bring up a whole other topic of getting people together, at events, keto cocktail mix, etc. Anyways, so I saw this video. I'm like, that's flipping cool. This guy's literally going into schools and teaching kids how to reach out in kindness, acting on promptings, and sending out cards to people in their lives just to say thank you or to express what's in their heart. And I'm like, man, that's freaking cool. So I reached out to this guy and just said, dude, I don't know you from Adam, but I just want to say, I don't know exactly what I said, but I just said, well done. And, we built a pretty cool friendship, and it was virtual. Like, I felt like I truly knew this guy and connected on a really high level. We had some unbelievable phone conversations, and he helped me. Sorry, man.
Woo!
Yeah, it's real stuff, guys. But this guy helped me at a point in my life when things were fairly tough. And I'm sorry, guys, fun and social. I didn't mean to get emotional on the call. Anyways, so we built this friendship. And you heard the story yesterday. His name's Mitch Newman. And he reached out to me about 3 years ago and said, dude, what's up with this bulletproof coffee? And I told him all about it, and he pushed back. He said, it sounds like work. I'm like, all right, don't do it. And then about a year or so later, I get a message, and we've been in touch. We've always stayed in touch. And he said, holy moly, you blew my mind. I got bulletproof coffee. And he found it in L.A. There was a little coffee shop before Bulletproof Coffee opened. He went and had the experience, and it blew his mind. And he called me to thank me for introducing him to the product. So fast forward, most of you guys know the story. He said, I'll never not trust you again on a recommendation. So it wasn't Get Social. I actually sent him a text when I found Keto S. He's one of the first people I thought of. And I texted him like, Mitch, dude, I found it, brother. Bulletproof coffee on steroids. And that was pretty much all it took. And he was in. And so the story, Michael, that you just told, so we never met in person, all through social media, all through Facebook, and then we picked up the phone, built a relationship. This story that you just told, and I'll finish, telling that story, is because of social media, because of Facebook. We met in person for the first time a few months ago in Dallas at the lab tour, and it was just like picking up where we left off, meeting a brother in person, a brother from another mother, all through social media. Never met in person. And so here's what's even crazier. So Mitch comes on board, shares it with Mark and Judy Willardson, dear friends who, funnily enough, we met at that card company. And Mark and Judy go out and share this with their dear friend, Nick Martinez. And by the way, these people are all absolute stud builders. I mean, they're building a massive team. And Nick Martinez goes out and shares this with the lady you hear every Monday night on the Go Pro Go MVP call. She is a pro, has built huge organizations, has mastered this industry. Natalie and Corey Kilburn, both Nick and Natalie's husband Corey are pilots, and that team is huge right now. And it's a big part of our team. And so here's what's interesting. If we back it all up, what happened? Somebody posted a video, Mitch, about something totally unrelated to this conversation, but it all comes full circle. So whether it's Bulletproof Coffee, a video reaching out in kindness, the point is that if you are attractive, I guess this is the main point, do your life, live your life out loud. I call it almost lifestyle marketing, but it's not marketing. You're living your life in a way that people look at you and go, wow, I don't know that guy or gal. We may just be Facebook friends, but I need to know what they're up to in life. And that story 7 years ago just led to this moment. How cool is that?
That's awesome. Sorry, I had to hit the mute button. It's
you were getting emotional there for a moment.
I know. I was texting Mitch. That's the thing that you don't know. I mean, control freaks have a heck of a time building a business like this and doing this sort of marketing and this sort of networking because you're not in control. There's a much bigger movement taking place that you're not in control of. That's what's really, really cool. So one thing that's gotten so neat is watching it unfold and watching it unravel right in front of us. It might not be an immediate gratification type thing. Sometimes it will. Sometimes it might. By the way, I completely forgot about this. I had connected with my buddy Joe Skirnis, who spoke on the MVP call last night with Natalie. And we reconnected on social media, go figure. I hadn't seen him in 7 years. We're super good pals for a bunch of years in college and just hadn't connected in years. So it's so funny. Guess what he did? What do you do when you reconnect with a friend on Facebook? You scroll their page, man. You go see what they're about. If they scroll your page and all it is every single Keto OS call that's ever been posted is now pounding your wall, it's like graffiti on the front of your house. No one wants to drive through it. No one wants to come in the front door. But if it's inviting and it's cool and it's hip and it's fun and it's done in a way that's not overwhelming and it doesn't feel like Amway, no offense to Amway, but, then it works. Then it's cool. Just keep it cool, keep it normal, and can maintain who you are. I think if you ever go to my page or certainly Jared's page, his page is a good mix of just normalness. He has a regular job, like a regular business, like during the day. He rents access to boats in Texas, right? So guess what half his pictures are? Lakes and boats and families boating, because that's what he's doing all day. Guess what else? Right. He has a son. And he likes throwing them in the air, and he likes doing pull-ups, and he likes swimming in the hot tub. So his pictures are of that. And scattered in there, sprinkled in there, is what he's doing in his Keto OS business. Every time he's dosing somebody or at a keto cocktail mixer or things like that. So, it's more of an art than anything. But I'm just telling you, like, Jared, as you're going through that, you have thousands of those stories now being created just today. Because all the people that are in your group that you don't even know, you don't even know 80% of the people on your own team. Try that on for size, guys. We were just talking a little bit earlier. And, this is cool when it gets really cool. Well, it's cool when you get a benefit on the product. It's even better when somebody that you care about gets some benefits on the product. Where it gets really cool is when somebody on your team calls you and they're fired up because someone that you don't know is getting a benefit on the product, and you're like, awesome, that's a real ripple effect. But from a business perspective, where it gets cool is when you get sign-ups to your phone that says, hey, congratulations, Mike, Joe Schmo just enrolled in your community today. And I'm like, awesome, I don't know who you are. That's what gets really cool. So when your team adds people that you don't know, that's where you got a real business. That's override income. That's income that you didn't create. You started it indirectly because somebody that you put it out there, created the environment to where now people on your team are enrolling people. But Jared, you don't even know any of the signups coming into your team. I mean, that's freaking awesome. So I bet you did a few thousand in sales this month instead versus the 300,000. Like, that's where it's really cool. And when you start talking about this social media stuff, that's what it turns into. It's nuts.
Right, because honestly, right, Michael, I mean, we don't get paid for what we do. I mean, we do, but we don't, right? We get paid for what we start. And, like, literally, guys, if you think about it, like that one reach out to Mitch has led to, I think he'll probably text me, I believe it's 3,000 people now on his squad and his tribe. And, I mean, it's just amazing. But here's what I learned about social media. I was on a webinar, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. I can't remember the guy. But, you know, he was basically teaching people how to use social media, you know, as kind of a leverage point. And I don't really look at – here's the way you got to look at Facebook. And, you know, somebody else could do a training on Instagram. I'm not as savvy there. And quite frankly, I don't have a strategy, but I have a philosophy. I have a mindset, and that is Facebook should be one big party. And if you think about a party, like if you go to a party, you don't walk in the room and, you know, open up your trench coat and say, look at my stuff, you know, or look what I do, or look what I'm about. You just kind of hang out, be cool, and get to know people. And so if you look at social media as a big party, your life, you know, I mean, you think about it, guys. We are documenting our lives forever on social media. It's really quite an interesting study. Everything we do and say, it's kind of interesting, will be documented forever. Your kids will be able to see what you were up to today on social media. So I'd kind of say to people, like, think about that. Like, if you're doing those posts where you're just kind of being real sales, like take the sales hat off and just get real. Have fun. Come from the heart. Live your life in an interesting way. And if your life's not interesting, make it interesting. Go to the park. Take a walk. You know, shake up. You may not be at the beach and be able to do cool videos beachside like Rutherford. That's all right. I guarantee you there's a park nearby. Get outside, start living your life, and just do better, right, for 2016. So if you're listening to the call, I would just say, Michael, to all our comrades here, like, guys, just start living an interesting life. And if you haven't, well, guess what? Here's an invitation to start living better. And as you start doing that and documenting it, you don't have to document everything. I mean, sometimes my wife and friends are like, dude, put your phone away. And so I got to get better there. But I do. I give 2 hours every morning to my wife and kid, free of the phone. It drives my team nuts. I'm like, where is he? But I don't even pick the phone up for the first couple hours. And so live your life online, offline, have fun, have a blast, and good things are going to happen.
I love it. You nailed it. I think there's so many nuggets in there that, you know, we could do a week's worth of calls and listen to people that have come in as a result of what you just talked about. And that's what's so exciting is, you know, it's just a duplication game. If what you're doing can't be duplicated, then you might as well not even do it. Most incomes in the world, like most people's incomes are 100% transaction-based and 100% based on their own efforts. Here, eventually, 98% of your income will actually be neither. There'll be residual-based, which is recurring, and there'll be override. Both of those incomes are the only kind of incomes as far as I'm concerned, and no one in your neighborhood has either. Most people have to get up today to go create some income, and they have to go do something, and it's based on what they personally do. Like a mortgage or real estate broker will override other people's sales, but like what Jared's talking about is creating an environment and a revenue and a cash flow stream that's built around lifestyle, fun, helping people, not like going to work every day. This is I would imagine most of the people that you're going to hear speaking on these calls still haven't showered when, like I certainly haven't. I look like a total bum because I don't have to go
How
anywhere.
did you know?
'Cause I know you're not saying it's only 11 there. So actually I'm going to look at a property shortly, so I have to shower right now. But normally, like, that's what's really cool is you can create an environment and a lifestyle built around helping people, but it could all come from one social media post. And the last thing I'll say is every single person that is going to come into your business is going to connect with you on social media, and they're going to read everything you've ever posted because that's just what people do today. It's almost like you have your resume. The resume right into your belief system is what you post on Facebook. So if you're a grouch and a whiner and all this kind of stuff, people don't want to follow that. If you're fired up, don't be fake, be real, but put your best foot forward. You'd be blown away by what it could turn into. Because if you'd have told me all the people that are on that team have come in from me going to Matty B's office, making some graphics and him putting a post up, I'd have told you were crazy. But look what's happened. So have an awesome Tuesday, if that's what today is. Yeah, Tuesday. We will continue our call series throughout the day today. I will tell you real quick, we made a hangout last night. It was T. Cauldron, Dustin Schaefer, Steve Welch, Rob DeBoer, and I am seated. And it's a video. It's about 20, 25 minutes long, smoking for the fitness and medical industry. So we'll send out a replay of this call. We'll send out a replay of that call. And we'll continue to send invites later today throughout the day for the 3 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, and the 9 o'clock. So stoked to be on the call. Thank you so much, Jared. You're a beast, dude. Can you imagine what you're going to do in January?
Oh, man, it's going to be fun. Thanks, brother. Good stuff.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being on the call. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye, guys.